There is so many type of database to store data and to query this data using NoSQL or with SQL. In this part, of course, I'm going to explain what is the non-SQL database.
What is a non-SQL database? That is distributed. That means that we have more than two files that is located in a different site, either on a same network or a different network. Portion of the database are stored in a multiple physical location, and processing is distributing among multiple database nodes. The scale out of the database, that means that we can scale out our database on demand. Transaction engine you use in memory caching layer to provide a fast data access to the application, or either in a storage manager to ensure that the data durability and to provide a fast read and write throughput. A schema-free database is a database which is data can be stored without a previous structure. What mean by that? Think of a traditional schema database. Before you start adding a record, you must define a structure that your record have. For example, in MySQL, you have to define a column for a table and then add a row that have a value for each of that. On free schema database, like for example on MongoDB, you can simply add a record without any previous structure. Moreover, you can group records that do not have the same structure. For example, you can have a collection for something like a table or relational database where you group record with a record of a various structure. In other words, they don't need to have a same column property. So what is a non-SQL database? That have a form of a document database that is stored in a document similar to JSON object. Each document contains a pair of fields and a value. The value can typically be a variety of type, including things like a string, number, a boolean, an array, or object. And their structure typically align with object developer are working in a code. The key value database are a simpler type of database where each item contains a key and a value. A value can typically only be retrieved by referencing its key. A wait column store that store data in table, row, and a dynamic wait column store provide a lot of flexibility over relational database because each row is required to have the same column. Many consider wide column store to be two-dimensional key value database. Graph database store data in node and age. Node typically store information about people, place, and things, while age store information about the relationship between the node. The graph database excel in use case what you need to traverse relationship to look for patterns such as a social network, frauds detection, and recommendation engine.